founder, and we are going to talk about the 2026 market outlook and how to invest in the stock market during these big, maybe some rate cut cycles, getting some really crazy volatility. A lot of you probably wondering, do we hold? Do we get out? Is it at the top? Whatever it is. Well, guess what? This is a very difficult time to trade at this time of the year. Tax season's coming around. Kids are on vacation. President weekend's right around the block. This is a type of the market where you got to be really careful and we got to focus on it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you exactly how to trade on these outlooks, how to focus on these entries and exits. We're going to talk about some trades that we did. I'm going to invite all of you to come into our Cyber Group trading floor that we started over 30 years ago and see why it's the longest running school in the industry. These are the things that we're going to cover. But before we do that, just let me please the regulators really quick. Just a quick little disclaimer. I'm not making any guarantees or promises that works for everybody. There's no guarantees in life other than death and taxes. I always recommend please don't go out there and risk what you really can't afford. Trading is a great job, but you got to be very careful and be very wise before you go out there and do anything. All right. So what we're going to be doing is I'm going to invite all of you to come back for one whole week to see that we practice what we preach. Everything that we see today that I'm going to show you, you're going to be coming and enjoying us in our trading floor. Now, let me just show you our trading floor really quick. And here we are. Let me just bring it up really quick. So here's our trading floor. And you could see here on the left-hand side, these are all our instructors. And let me get my crayons out here so you guys can follow along. How about that? That might help out, right? That would probably work. Oops. Wrong one. Okay. There's my little dot. There we go. Can you see my little dot right there? All right. So these are all instructors. Got close to 200 people in there right now. It's in the middle of the day, so it's kind of quiet. We have a nice little watch list. Right now, they're looking at this stock that we found early this morning. This stock is JDZG. Does everybody see this right here? Everybody see that? This is our watch list I do in the morning. And if you look right here, this is our watch list this morning. Number one stock on that list is right there. Look at this, it's 10 o'clock in the morning. At that time, the stock was all the way down here. Look where it is right now, and it is 12 o'clock. Now, you're probably going to ask, Fausto, how did you find that stock? How do I know not to trade stocks like maybe Lyft or MSTR or NVIDIA and all those? We're going to talk about that. But the big thing that you have to understand is that there are so many stocks out there to trade. And a lot of you, if you follow me on Instagram or TikTok or YouTube, or, obviously we have some students here that are here to recruit you. You need to know how to play the game of trading. That's really what it comes down to it. By the way, there's the link if you want to subscribe to the channel. We just posted up there. Just click on it, like us, friend us, ring the bell. So we're live every morning. All right. So why don't you get that out of the way right now? But with that said, you're going to have access to all the traders. You're going to listen to them. You're going to see the stocks that we trade, all this good stuff. But before I waste anyone's time, let me show you exactly how we find these stocks. What drove that stock to go up? Why to stay away from one versus the other? That's the big thing. All right. So let me move this over here on the side. And let's talk about some stocks that we've traded in the past week. That's what we're going to be doing. We're going to go to shopping. We're going to find stocks like, for example, Netflix. Who here traded Netflix? Okay. So I want to show you what happened with this Netflix trade. Now, I personally owned Netflix. I love Netflix. I never really bought it a long time ago because it was expensive. But they did a stock split, a 10-for-1 stock split, and now it's in that price range that you usually figure, well, maybe I could buy it here. Well, I thought Netflix was a very good buy, okay? And good buy was right around here, around the $82 price range, all right? You could see on the long-term chart, big support levels back here in the beginning of the year, here and here. But you see what happened right here? Could everyone tell me what just happened to Netflix? What happened to Netflix as we're seeing it right now? If I need to zoom in a little bit closer, I'll do it a little closer. What happened? Yes, it went down. Can everybody write that? It went down. Now, I have a question to ask everybody. Now, please listen to me carefully. If you cannot answer this question, I'm going to give you the best trading advice in the world. You better quit trading after right now. And my question to you is this. It's a pass or fail question. What makes stocks go up and down in the market? Let me see if you guys can answer that question. Very simple question. Well, so while you're doing that, I'm going to wait for your question. All right. And I am going to show you something. Follow big money, right? Big buyers, all that stuff, right? All big buyers and sellers will control the market. Okay. So if you notice right here on Netflix had a very big buyer around $80. And you could see how it was hovering there for a while. What happened here is that buyer got executed. Okay. Now you could see something which is called the right of the chart. The right of the chart is where the orders are. Now, if you were watching me yesterday, I can't show you now because that was yesterday, but I am going to show you something else that didn't work out. But here is something called level 4. And right now we're looking at the orders. And you could see right here that now all of a sudden there's a big buy around 75. Does everybody see that right there? 75, there's a big buyer around 220,000. Big buyer out there. Look what happened to Netflix now. It hit right about 75, and now it's going up a little bit. Okay? Here's another stock I want to show you. USAR. USAR today went down, and it went to a price right around $20. Okay. Now, do you see this right here? It went down, it came up, and it broke right here. Support, and now went all the way down here to 19. Why did it stop at 20 and eventually broke down? And I'll tell you why. Right here, you'll notice there was a big buyer out there, okay? You ever own a stock, think you're at support levels, and the stock breaks it and want to know why? This is the reason why. Because what happened at that price, if I move this over, that was, if you look right here on the right, that was a 93,000 share buyer, okay? Now, what I want you to see is this. You see that big red ball? Okay, that red ball means that buyer that was out there, somebody sold it to him. Now, like everybody just said, how do stocks go up and go down, everybody? Buyers and sellers. You know what happened when that big buyer got executed? It went lower. Okay, now, do we have any students in here? Who here can confess and could back me up on that I did not make this shit up, okay? Because today we had a lot of traders in the room in our trading floor, and I went out there, I liked the stock, I bought it, I took a loss, and thank God I did, because if I didn't, guess what? That's where the stock went down to. Red bulls means selling, right? Green means bulls mean buying. Now, my question to everybody is this. Well, thanks a lot, Lyndon, Randy. Appreciate it. Now, the question is, did I lose anybody yet? Did I lose anybody here? Everybody following along? All right. So let me tell you a little about myself. Okay, first of all, I am one of the original Souls Bandits back in the early 90s. I have over 30 years of trading experience. If you ever read any of the old books or want to know about the original day traders, I was them. I was 22 years old. I'm 54 years old right now, probably still younger than some of you here. But this is how long I've been doing this, and I've been doing it for every single day. I have competed against every trading firm in the industry. I beat every school in the industry. I probably would have been a 25-time champion, but half the people didn't show up. Uh, but that doesn't really make me, a good teacher. Remember, being a good trader is one thing. Being a good teacher is another. So over the years, I have been featured in some of the biggest financial institutions in the industry. I did a lot of events specifically for NASDAQ, and I'm going to show you how to trade on the exchange because I was a NASDAQ trader, and I'll show you how that stuff works. But before we do that, I would like to offer all of you just a moment to give you a copy of my free book. Now, you can go to Wiley or you can go to Amazon. You could pay me about $60. But if you want to be able to jump in right now and get it for free, just for sticking around as a gift to me, I want you to take my email address. I want you to go there right now and type in Fausto at ctutrading.com. And let's get that out of the way. So, where's my inbox? I'm going to bring it up. And let's do that right now. And type in Fausto at ctutrading.com. And what I'd like you to do is type in book. All right. And just hit send. There you go. All right. It's on its way. So I'm sending myself a book. Now, if you want a copy of it, I'll be happy to give you. I know some people are already here. It's a great read. It's a fast read. Everything that I talked about today is going to be in that book. And it's a color book. And like I said, Wiley, one of the most prestigious publishing companies in the world, they reached out to me a long time ago. Says, Fausto, we need a book. We need a day trading book. Honestly, I really have no time writing books. It's not my thing. I'm a trader, but they pay me a lot of money for it. But it's a good brand to be an author. So you take that opportunity to get that. All right. All right. Who do we got here? Mike, I just got yours. Bill, John, Stefan, I just got yours. Oh, and also, please put your first and last name so I know who you are. It always kind of helps me out a little bit. I hate you to some people in here. I don't even know who your name is. Okay. All right. I see Martin. I got yours. Demand. I got yours. Perfect. All right. Coming across. All right. So, how I got started, just to let you know, I'm one of the original day traders. That little monitor you see on that screen on that computer, that's what we used to trade on. Okay. Bunch of kids tormenting Wall Street. Guess what? I'm not a kid anymore. Okay. But if we can make money then, you can make money today. That's the way that things work. Now, my parents came here. I'm first generation Italian, and my parents came here with $20 in their pocket. They landed here in New York from Italy, and my parents always told me this is the country that you could, of entrepreneurship. People make a lot of money here. Go out there, find something you like, do it, and go out there and learn from it, and and that's how I ended up today. So I found out that living in New York, the financial capital of the world, that's what people do here. I tried it. I blew up 2 accounts. Third time, my dad said, enough's enough. You're going to do things the right way. And I'm like, yeah, what's the right way, Dad? The right way, son, is going to work for somebody. Work, and not for someone that's bad at it. Work for someone that's good at it. Okay. And, you're here in New York. Why not go out there and learn from some of the big brokerage firms? And like, duh, that sounds like a pretty smart idea, Dad. Why not? But the reason why I didn't do it is because back then I was ignorant. Okay. And you can't tell me how many of us know our kids are very ignorant. You tell them, you teach them. Well, you know what? You're not a kid anymore, everyone that's here. You're an adult. Okay. You have kids. You don't want to make the same mistake as them. And that's why you're listening to me today. Because what I just showed you a minute ago, I just made you a 50% better trader tomorrow. So I like to thank my dad for that. Now, my question to everyone here is this. How long have you guys been trading for? I've been doing this for over 30 years. How long you guys been doing it for? And when I ask you, I'm asking, when did you take it seriously? I'm talking about, did you start today? Did you start last month, last year? How long has it been? Saeed says 2 or 3 years. Okay. Who else? Frank, Greg, Barry, what about you? Brent, 2 years. Trader, I don't know who you are, but he says 2 years. Jacob says about a year or so. Okay. Now, the next thing is there's two questions. By the way, no one can read anyone's chat. Okay. We do that on purpose because sometimes we don't want, we get some, people that say things that aren't appropriate. Okay. Next thing, question to everyone is this. Now, be honest. Are you making money or not? Or are you breaking even? Okay. No one's gonna see your answer. Got to know. What else? 3 people are honestly to say no. Still in the game. All right. Michael says no. Who else? If you don't answer this question, I'm just going to take it as a no. All right. No money yet. Breaking even. Okay. Good days and bad days. Okay. Overall, no. All right. So listen, that's okay. And that's why we're here. All right. We're here because what are we doing wrong? And I'm going to tell you what you're doing wrong. And I know some of you have joined multiple chat rooms and trading rooms and simulators and indicators. I'm going to tell you what you did wrong. The first thing you have to ask yourself is look yourself in the mirror and ask you who really trained you. And more than 70% of the people would say, nobody, I did it myself. Okay, well, let's just be honest with ourselves. Would you let someone do brain surgery on your loved ones that never went to med school or even studied brain surgery? I know it sounds stupid, but I'll give you something even more factual. Would you give your money to some financial planner that never learned finance just because, oh, he's got a name? I mean, let's not be ignorant, but let's stop it right there. Let's put our egos aside, and let me tell you what you're doing wrong. If you're part of that group, that's okay. We're going to stop it. All right. Now, are you retired? Are you working? Listen, a lot of people are coming to an age right now where, it's hard to find a job. AI is replacing us. Maybe you got laid off. Maybe you're about to retire or you're replaced by a younger person. You want to take matters in your own hands. Let me tell you something. I might be negative, but let me tell you the positive. Trading is one of the best jobs in the world. You are your own boss, which you probably already know. You can come and go whenever you please, which you probably already know. You could do it out of the luxury of your home, but you just got to know how to play the game. So the thing is this. I love teaching people how to trade. I've changed so many people's lives that the market was good to me, and I like to pass that down to you, and eventually I want you to pass it down to other people. Now, I broadcast live every morning at 9 a.m. and at 2:30, okay? We have a live professional trading room, all right? But the thing is this. How do we find these stocks, Fausto? Why you been doing it so long? What are we doing right and I'm doing wrong? That's what we need to understand about trading. And the thing is this. Everyone's always worrying about rate cuts, earnings announcements, news. Listen, the topic of today's discussion is irrelevant, okay? Because every day is something exciting that's happening, and it's every day there could be multiple things that are happening. And you don't have to wait for a rate cut to get volatility in the market, all right? You don't got to wait for the Green New Deal or the greed or or the next war to make money or the next catastrophe. There's always opportunities out there. But the thing that people make the biggest mistake is they hold their losers too long and they sell their winners too soon. So this is the game plan that we're going to have, okay? Risk management and exit strategy. Now, let's talk about something that just happened recently, okay? Did anyone here see what happened to HIMS, the stock HIMS, HIMS? Everyone saw it? Just give me a yes or no. HIMS got a really, really bad, got big trouble. They're getting sued, okay, from Nuvo, and the stock plummeted, okay? It went from 23, it went all the way down to 17, went back to 19, came back down to 17. Now, I'm just using one of these because it's the most recent, biggest news in the market. Now, the thing is this. What is going to stop the stock from going lower? Because you might see as this, oh my God, that's a catastrophe. It's a really bad news. Well, do you think it's going to zero? I mean, that could happen. But there are people that are short that need to cover. There's a lot of reasons that the strategies that go out there. So what we need to focus on is the buying and the control, knowing where the buyers are and where the sellers are. So following the big orders is the most important thing we need to do. How do we follow the big orders? Well, I want to start off with something called level 1, level 2, level 3, and level 4. Really briefly, just tell you what level 1 is. Level 1 is just every order out there. You see the buyers, you see the seller. You open up your phone, you look at you post a bid on your TD Ameritrade or your Thinkorswim, whatever it is. You're just seeing the best bid and best offer. Okay. Back in the old days, remember, you had to call your broker or you had to turn on a TV and you had to read that little tape on the bottom. Hopefully your stock comes up. Now everyone gets it. Then there was something called level 2 that came out. Problem with level 2, it got replaced. Okay. Level 2 has been outdated since the 90s. Let me tell you really briefly what it is. You're going to see market makers, which are IDs, which are exchanges. You're going to see the price the stock is trading at an exchange and how many shares are trading at that exchange. So you're not really seeing who's on NASDAQ, who's on New York Stock Exchange, who's on the CBOE. You're just seeing what that stock is trading at that exchange. So at the end of the day, it's worthless. I know a lot of you here probably already know that because you probably, if you were using it, there must have been some value, and there's not. But there is something that there has tremendous value, and that is what we're going to talk about, is something called NASDAQ Level 3. Now, these are the two most important tools that we're going to focus on. Now, please pay attention right now because this is where you're going to start learning how to make yourself a better 50% trader than you were when you first came in here. We're going to talk about NASDAQ Level 3, and we're going to talk about level 4. Let's start off with NASDAQ level, NASDAQ book viewer. Now, my question to everyone here is this. Who has NASDAQ book viewer? Who has total view? They call it. Book viewer is the book. Total view is what they use by. Just give me a yes or no. I want to see how many of you have it. I like to call it level 3. I get yelled at by NASDAQ all the time. It's really called NASDAQ total view, but Michael, you don't have it? No one has it? Nobody had. That's okay. I'd rather be honest. Brett, do you have it? Art? I didn't hear from you, Art. What about you? Alexandra, do you have it? Yes or no? Nobody has it. Oh my God. Okay, well, guess what? Let me show you what you're about to see. I'm going to show you where the orders are. Okay, so follow very closely. We're looking at Snapchat. And we're looking at every buyer that wants to buy Snapchat and every seller that wants to sell that Snapchat. We're looking at who's looking to pay the most, and then who wants to sell it for the least, buy for who wants to buy for the most, who wants to buy for the least, who wants to sell it for the least, and who wants to sell it for the most. So basically, envision a big chat room. You're seeing every order in the entire world that want to trade Snapchat. Now, does anybody here own a home? Ever get outbidded on a house or, wish you could have bought it and didn't know it went for a certain price? If you did, you probably would have put a bid in it. If not, this is what you're looking at. You're looking at the entire buyer and seller out there. You're looking at every order out there. That's the power of NASDAQ Total View. Now, there's a lot of brokerage firms that offer it. I just came back from Toronto. I did a big event for Moomoo. I don't know if anyone is familiar with them. TradeStation, Schwab, they all offer it. They all offer it. Thinkorswim, they all offer it. But if you don't know how to get it, I'm going to tell you where to get it. Okay. But just think about this for a second. You own a stock. Stock's going down. Do you sell it now? Well, the only way you know when to sell it, if there's still sellers selling it. If you want to buy it back and average down, the only way you're going to know that is you got to know if there's people out there bidding it up. That's how trading works. Now, let me put it into a little bit of a perspective over here. This is where everybody makes a mistake. Everybody's looking for support levels. Okay. You don't need support levels. There's support levels don't exist unless the buyers are out there. So if we look right here, you could see the stock Robinhood. We're looking at Hood because it's a 4-letter symbol. It went from a price of 76.50, drops all the way to 75, hovers there, consolidates, and goes back up to 79.50. Why did it stop right at 75? Well, if you look over here on the buy side, and you look right around here, there's a 3-digit number, which is this number right here. Could everyone tell me how many buyers are out there at $75? How many buyers is that? Let me see if you're paying attention. There are 66 orders that make up those shares. Let's see if you guys are writing it down. Guys, let me tell you something. Don't take this the wrong way. I'm not here for my health. I'm not here to listen to myself talk. I'm here to prevent you from stop losing money. Okay? If you can't answer that question, you should not be trading. You're really not. So thank you very much. Mike, Bill, John. It's 145,000. If you look at all these orders, 35,000, 30,000, 3,000, 9,000, 2,000, 145,000. I'm sorry. I apologize. I made a mistake. That's 35 shares, 90 shares, 25 shares, 145. What do you think is going to happen when you get to 145,000 share buyer? Oh, that's why it went up. Okay. Was it a Fibonacci? Was it a MACD? Was it an RSI? No, it was that is the reason why it went up. Let's do another one. We're looking at the stock General Motors. Opens up at 930, goes all the way to 82, decides to stop at 82. Why 82? Why not 80? Why not 85? Why 82? Because from 82, it just dropped down to 79. Why 82? Where did 82 come from? Well, when you look at the sell side, which you probably all agreed, what makes a stock go down? Sellers. We work our way down the list. We see there's a seller here, 91,000. Is that a lot? Well, you got 200 shares, 300 shares, 224, a lot of 3-digit numbers, but you got a 5-digit number right there, which is probably over 100 times more than any order out there. What do you think is going to happen? How do stocks go up and down? Buyers and sellers. What do you have right here? A big seller. What happened when it hit the big seller? It went down. Now, my question to everyone here is this. Did I lose anybody yet? Does that seem hard? Does that seem complicated? Because this is called the left of the chart. This is called the right of the chart. The right is the future. The left is the past. You know there's a right of the chart. Well, guess what? Your question has finally been answered after all these years. Now, this is what we do here at Cybertrade University. How do I know this? Let me just tell you. I was a market maker. This is how I was trained. This technology has been around for 50 years. This is how the exchange was built from day one. And for some of you, you're probably thinking you're hearing it for the first time ever and like, how in the hell that happened? Why is nobody talking about it? And the answer is, you know why they don't talk about it? Because they didn't work on the floor like I did. They were not a market maker. They never worked for the exchange. They were a gym teacher or, some analyst, or not analyst, a mathematician or, some kid that, decided he wanted to trade and got lucky on Bitcoin, and think like he's a guru now, Listen, you want to learn for somebody that does something, you got to learn that somebody does it all day long. Okay. It's all about following the orders. Now let me show you a little bit more. Let's go over a couple of more examples. Here we're looking at Zoom, which is the platform we're actually using right now, Zoom. They're a public company. Stock is at, trading right around 95. Okay. Past 3 days, it's been going, after it went through a big uptrend, now it's starting to trend down. Okay. So what is going to stop the stock from going lower? Buyers. Looking at the buyers, work our way and look on the buy column. See all the way down here, the stock is at 88.50, 129,000 shares. Is that a lot? I don't know. Look at all the other orders out there. So you might think like, oh, someone told me to buy Zoom. Okay, great. Why would you want to pay $90.44 when you could pay $88.40? I mean, think about it. If you had 1,000 shares of that stock, you want to pay $1,000. Wouldn't you want to buy $1,000 cheaper? Why would you pay $1,000 more? Or even if you did 100 shares, why wouldn't you rather pay $100 less than $100 more? Because like it or not, hope all you want, it's going to go there. And that's the only thing that's going to stop it from going lower. And look what it did. Started at 9:30, 10 o'clock, 10:30, 11, boom. Once it got around 12 o'clock, when it reached that big buyer, that's when it finally made its bounce. That's when it finally reversed. You see, buyers make support and sellers make resistance. Everybody has the opposite. Supports make an indicator. A resistance, makes an indicator. They're always falling. You always feel like you're trading behind, and you're not supposed to trade behind, because when you drive a car, you don't look at the rearview mirror. You look at the front of the windshield, because you need to see what's ahead of you, not what's behind you. Let's look at this great little swing trade on GM. Stock goes from $45 up to $85. So not only can you apply this towards a day trade, you could apply it towards a short-term swing or even a long-term investment. They're always going to be there. Now, the big thing is that having a game plan, you got to know where the resistance levels are. Want to know where the sellers are? Look here on level 4, work our way down. Want to know where the biggest seller is? Boom, right there, $82, 91,000 shares. Now, like I said earlier, is that a lot? Doesn't really sound like a lot. It is a lot, because look at all the other orders out there around the world. And remember, this is the exchange. This ain't the Fausto indicator platform that people are pushing onto you. This ain't TradeView. Oh, I got a software that built it. Look at my algorithm. No, this is a seat on the exchange. When I started, you had to get licensed to get this data. You don't got to get it anymore. Everyone has access to it. And that's something you have to understand. Because not knowing and not having that game plan and not knowing where those entries and exits, guess what? You're going to be like everyone else. And everyone else is, damn, I knew I should have sold at 882. Now I'm all the way down here at 79. Oh, crap. How did I not sell at 82? Billy from my broker told me it's going to go to 83. I was only $1 away from it. Why did I sell it $1 earlier? Well, did you see the orders out there? These are what we call iceberg orders. Now, I came up with that word iceberg. You're going to start seeing a lot of people talking about iceberg orders, because there are a lot of people in this industry that are students of Cyber Trading University. They started their own schools, and now they're starting out to preach a little bit more of the iceberg orders. So just want to let you know, I came up with that word after watching the movie Titanic. And the reason what happens is that it didn't work out too well for the Titanic. You see, it's not what's on top of the water, it's what's on the bottom of the water. Okay? And if you don't have the right tools to see what's on bottom, guess what? Didn't work out too well for the people of Titanic. And you know what? You get yourself involved in the stock, you'll end up blowing up your account. So what happens now? The next thing is this. What happens if the stock breaks a support level? Now that could happen. I want to get to the Netflix trade. Okay. Here you have a big buyer right here at $83. And you can see it's 48,000 shares right there. And you're looking at the chart, and the chart shows you, okay, it hit support, it went up. It hit support, it went up. Well, listen, this could happen. Somebody could eventually, sell those shares. Someone say, oh, you know what? I know you're a big buyer. I want to get out. I want to sell. And guess what? If that big buyer's not there, like it or not, it's going lower. And sure enough, look what happened. It went from 83 down to 80. Okay. That's what ended up happening with that stock. And you know what? Look where we are right now. We're down to 75. See it right there? That's where Netflix is at. And this was last week. This was last week. So there were buyers out there. And believe me, I bought it and I lost money on it. And let me tell you something. It was a pretty good loss because selling it at 83, then selling at 75, I don't know about you guys, but I'd rather take the $2 loss than taking a $13 loss. Big difference. Now, does anyone here would like to get and play around with NASDAQ Total View? This is what I want you to do. Send me an email right now, and I will personally email you 2 5-minute videos that will show you how to get it, how to set the defaults, okay, and everything. So let's take a moment right now before anything happens and we forget. Let's open up a new email, and let's type in Fausto at CTU Trading, and just write NASDAQ book, and make sure you give me your first and last name so I know to call you properly. All right. So let's do that. There's our email. Let's do that. Let's hit send. All right. And let's get that over. Yeah, Martin, I got your email too. John, I got yours for the book. Okay. So if you could register twice. All right. Now, let me tell you something. When you watch this, you're going to be so pissed off. You're really going to be, first of all, it's going to be a relief because you're finally going to know all the things that you always thought about existed are now going to come to fruition. Now, listen, I'm not on NASDAQ for no purpose. I mean, for my mistake. Okay. They know that if the general public knows how to trade, you're going to trade longer and they make more money. I mean, that's really the fact. So if you believe that there are orders out there that control the market, well, here's your chance. So let's not waste any time. All right. Same people are registering. Jacob, I got yours. Michael D, I got yours. Billy, I got yours. Lance, Suzanne, got your registration. Welcome aboard. All right. Now, very important when you watch that video, make sure you set the defaults, because what's going to happen is, and by the way, this is not my software. You're going to go directly to NASDAQ. Okay. You're going to go directly to the New York Stock Exchange. It's their seat on the exchange. People don't even know it was even available to them. Okay. They didn't even know about it. So why not go out there and just play around with it? It's all real time. It's live. It's everything. All right. Elizabeth, I got yours. David, I just got your email. Okay, great. Once we're done, I'll send that over to you guys. Okay. All right. Very important. All right. So as some of you are filling it out, Linda, I just got you too. All right. Perfect. I see you guys just registering right now. All right. Want to finish off before I get you guys registered to come to the live trading floor, what level 4 is. So there is something a little bit more advanced, which I showed you earlier. Now, level 4 is just a heat map. So not only are you seeing the orders, but now you're seeing it out there for a while. So I want to bring up something that was moving this morning. Where am I? Let's go check out NVIDIA. Okay. So NVIDIA, let me bring up an execution system here. Let's look at NVIDIA. All right, so you're looking at NVIDIA right here. And I'm just going to bring up the chart a little bit bigger here. So here's NVIDIA. And you see what happened right here. The video opened up. It went all the way to 93. It dropped all the way down to 87. Okay. Now, my question to everyone is this. Why did it stop here? Okay. Why did it stop? Because if I go back yesterday, it stopped there. If I go back 5 days, not one, not two, 5 days. Look, resistance, 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 resistance. Look, the stock went all the way from this price down here and shot all the way up and decided to stop. Shot all the way up there and stop. So it is stopped. Always stop. Why is it stopping at that number? Can anybody tell me? Why is it stopping at that number? I'm starting to feel like John Madden on NFL Network. Sellers, right? Here, you ready to see the seller out here? Look at this seller right here. This is 930. This is 930. Look at this seller right here. You see that big red line? That red line is 848,000 shares. 94, 200,000. 93, 180,000. You see how it never wanted to pass these numbers? So you get to see on the heat map. What do you think? Add that up all together. What do you got? Close to about 1 million, 1,200,000 worth of sellers out there from all the way from 96 to 93. Look at all those sellers. You got no sellers down here. Got really no buyers right here. You got a shitload of sellers up there. Okay. So I'm going to ask everybody this question. What makes stocks go up and go down, everyone? Buyers and sellers. How many of you here knew that there was a big seller out there? This is what you learn at Cybertrain University. So I'm just telling you right now, you can guess all you want. You can hope all you want. If you don't know where the money is, if you don't know where the algorithms, the high frequency, the dark pools, the Goldman Sachs's, the BlackRocks, the Vanguards, then you're just gambling. And if you like, that's okay. Listen, if you like gambling, people go to casinos all the time and they play around and, they do it for fun. Me, I'm not here to do it for fun. I'm here to treat like a business. Now, seeing is obviously believing. So we practice what we preach. So this is what we're going to do. Stop being the guy on the left and start being the people on the right. I want to introduce you to all our traders, how we work together like a team. Why has Cybertrain University been doing this for over 30 years? And not only that, but why do we have the respect for some of the biggest brokerage firms in the industry? I can almost guarantee you, if anyone has ever taken training from anyone, nobody could even dare put this up on their screen. NASDAQ, Benzinga, Metastock, Charles Schwab, Tasty Trade, TradeStation, Thinkorswim, Moomoo, Bookmap. I mean, Tradier. I've done presentations and we've been endorsed by every one of these brokerage firms. And that just names a few. Okay. I bet some of the brokerage people that train you can't even bring up one. And let me tell you, do you know what the compliance they go? Do you know why they never endorse them? Because they do credit checks on them. They check their traders and see if they're successful. They see how long they've been in business for. They check their Google reviews. Oh, yeah, Google reviews. Absolutely. What's our Google reviews? 5 stars. Okay. Not too many people have that. And this is not Trustpilot, in which you could kind of fake. Okay. These are actually real reviews. So this is what I'm going to do. I want to invite all of you guys to come to my trading floor. Okay. I want you to come in there for a week. You only really need an hour, but I want to introduce you to the traders. I want you to hear us, what we trade. I want to show you how we get in and out. I want to show you something that most people do not tell you. Most people want someone to tell them what to buy and sell. We do not do that, Cybertrade University. We teach you how to buy and sell. That's why these brokerage firms endorse us. So what I'm going to offer everybody is this. I want to give you 1 week access to my trading room. I want to give you access to our Traders Talk library. I want to introduce you to our workshops, our recordings, the book. I also want to give you access to our advisors to talk to. All you got to do is take your phone, scan that QR code, or click on that link, and it's only going to cost you $9. That's it. Now, I have a problem with this $9 fee. I'll tell you why. People always ask me, there's got to be a catch. $9 sounds too cheap to see all this stuff live for 1 week. What is Cybertrade University getting out of it? And why is it so cheap? Because some people said, I just paid $200,000, $500,000 for the same program. Why $9? I'll tell you why. I don't need the $9. Okay. That $9 just tells me if you're a real person or not. I'm looking for people that are serious. Okay. And when I find out I could do it for free, but I feel like if you have some skin in the game, $9 is not like 900. Listen, you see that little, everybody see that thing on the right-hand corner? Everybody see that little jersey right there? That jersey is probably worth about $250,000. I don't need your $9. Okay. There's a glass that's signed by one of the, Michael Schumacher right there. If you follow F1, those are the shoes right there. Those things are worth priceless. I don't need your $9. I need people that want to learn that I could trade with. So that's why I'm here. If you're somebody here that wants to be part of a team, that want to learn how to trade and want to be with someone successful, then you're the right person. Okay. If not, what I recommend you to do is this: stop going to webinars, stop watching YouTube videos, and start interviewing stockbrokers. Okay. Thank you for sharing that, Lynn and Randy. Let me just get that. I mean, they've been big fans of Cybertrade University, and just read what they have to say. Appreciate that. So I got to go, fellow traders. I want to get back to the trading floor. Do we have any questions whatsoever? I actually had a couple of questions that did come across. Let me bring up. Some people ask me, do I need a brokerage firms to start? No, you do not need a brokerage firm to start. Okay. We do not want you to buy and sell anything. We don't want you to go out of your way. We just want you to watch and see if we practice what we preach and see if people actually make money doing this. That's really what comes down to it. Come and see if people actually, how they're doing. Can I use the Schwab on the? Yes, you can, Adai. Yes, you can. It's actually on the Thinkorswim platform. Absolutely. Okay. And I actually did a nice little a book on that, video on that. All right. Now, as a gift for everyone that registers, I will personally talk to you because I feel like some of you here are going to have some questions, and you're obviously maybe a little shy right now. Maybe you're not a good chat person, whatever it is. That's okay. Listen, sometimes you want to talk to your doctor privately, not even with your spouse or friend, we'll have that conversation. But let me just warn you, everybody, trading is a 90% failure rate. A lot of you sat down and were confessed that you're losing money. So go out there. Let's make the $9 investment now. Let's just get out of the way. All right, traders. All right. Any other questions? Any other questions, fellow traders? $9. What do you guys have to lose? Oh, you know what? I'll throw this in there. If you want your $9 back, I'll give it back to you. No problem. Okay. Once you register, if you feel like we wasted your time, I'll give you $9 back. Okay. It's not going to break me. Okay. So let's go out there and let's stop losing. Let's stop guessing, and let's stop following. Stop trying to be a leader. Okay. Stop acting like you know what the stock market's going to do, because you don't, and you never will. Not in a bad way, but there are people out there that trade millions and millions of shares. If they have to sell, they're going to sell. And if you don't know where they are, guess what? You're going to get caught holding the bag. Crockett says, can you sign up even if you're not in America? Absolutely. Listen, we have people from Germany, England, Singapore, Canada, all over the world, South America. Absolutely. Absolutely. And everybody here has access to the U.S. markets. A lot of people like to trade the U.S. markets because it's a lot easier to trade. A couple of shout outs really quick. First of all, Linda from Austin, Texas. I just got your registration. Welcome aboard. Appreciate the vote of confidence. Suzanne from Ontario, Canada. It's got your registration. Welcome aboard. Paul from Chicago. Just got your registration. Welcome aboard. Appreciate the vote of confidence. All right. I'm still waiting for somebody to register. Guys, it's $9. What do you have to lose? The worst thing that could happen to you is you learn something. Okay. It's not going to break the bank. Oh, one other question people ask me, what happens after a week? Nothing. We're not going to charge you. You're not signing up for a subscription. You're not doing any of that stuff. No one's going to upsell you. I'm only using this as a base, as an application fee to be part of the team. That's what you're paying for. Okay. That's really what it is. All right, traders, listen, I got to go. Anyone have last minute questions? Let me just leave you off everybody with this, okay, who's still registering. You got to learn before you can earn, okay? If you're not going to learn, then you should just quit trading, because if you think $9 is expensive, try ignorance. I know people that blew up their accounts and they all said, I knew this was there. I knew this existed. How do I not know it now? It's never too late to learn, okay? It's never too late. This is just the beginning. But let me tell you, we're going to an ugly time right now. Markets up big. There's going to be a correction, and there's going to be an ugly one. And there's going to be a really fast one, and it's coming. And if you're not prepared for it, it's going to cost you a lot more than $9. I can promise you that. Traders, thank you very much for listening. Appreciate it. Look forward to teaching you all. And if you're not ready yet, I get it. Listen, you could always book it now and take it later. Just, it's fresh in your head, but don't go out there and wait too long, guys, because trading is a lot of fun. It pays a lot of money, but you just got to know how to play the game. All right, guys, good luck, everybody. Thanks for listening. I'll see you on the trading floor.